I'm having both a KCLS and a Sno-Isle Libraries library card as of Tuesday, 17 June 2025. Here I, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, share a little bit what it is like to have both a King County Library System KCLS library card and a Sno-Isle Libraries library card as of the day this video was filmed, Tuesday, 17 June 2025. So, I say I have a card, can I prove it? This is my King County Library System, KCLS, library card. And this is my Sno-Isle's, nope, Sno-Isle, I'm still adjusting to that. It's Sno-Isle Libraries, not Sno-Isle's Library. Sno-Isle Libraries library card. So, there they are. They're my two library cards. I do not have two homes, I do not have two houses. I had one residence when I registered for the second library system, Sno-Isle Libraries library card. So last Tuesday, 10 June 2025, I went in and I got this card. I got into the Sno-Isle Libraries library system. And I have the same one residence now. Video filmed in the morning, Tuesday, 17 June 2025. So I went to Edmonds Library, which was part of Sno-Isle Libraries, and I wrote a Yelp review, and on Yelp somebody responded being like, "Oh, since you're a resident of King County, you can actually get a card here." And so I was like, okay, I don't really know. I was like, oh, okay. And then there were a few movies that I searched for in the King County Library System. And so it was initially my best friend's wedding, 1977. It was one I searched for, and it wasn't in the library system. And I was like, okay. And then I also searched for the Fountain 2006 film later, and this was the one where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna add getting an Edmonds Library, because I searched the Sno-Isle Libraries and they had 2 copies. And I was like, all right, I'll add it to my list. It's not like pressing that I do it, however, I do want to watch that movie and I don't want to pay for it. And so I got my card, and then I was like, I remembered my best friend's wedding. I actually remembered to search these and put them on hold in chronological order. So this one came before this one in kind of thing of not being in the King County Library System. So like I can think of it as these are the two items that were not in the King County Library System that actually propelled me to add, not switch library systems, but add a library system, because I can at least currently have both library systems. So it's so the libraries are not the same, the offerings are not the same. That's what it's like, is if it's not in one place, search the other. And that's how this got started. That in response to a Yelp review. But I actually searched this before and was like, would I have to go to a different library system? Could I do that? That kind of stuff. I went into Edmonds Library to explore what the offerings were in a different county. And which is the border is like less than 1.5 miles that way north, so it's not very far. And yeah, so now both library systems are part of my family, my library family, public. So they're both public library systems. The checkout procedures, like setup, is similar, not the same process, like in terms of what information needs to be inputted and that kind of thing. It's kind of cool. So both of these are from the Sno-Isle Libraries, and when I go to check out and I have items on hold, it actually shows me how many items I have on hold when I go to check stuff out. And then as I checked these out, it actually decreased the number of items I had on hold. And I don't have that. I haven't had that, and I don't have that. At least as of recent, haven't had that in the King County Library System. So the actual like process is different. Printed receipts for like holds and checking stuff out is different. The returns drop-in is a different format, so to speak, than returns in the King County Library System. So it's at least for the library I've been to thus far, and having the card. So they're not the same, and the offerings are not the same, which I think is actually kind of good from just like a basic existence standpoint of the existence are justified by them not having the same offerings, right, that kind of thing. Yeah, so there we go. And is there anything else. Oh, yeah, back when I was living in California, 2015 to 2019, I was like, what happens if I can't find something in a library system? Like, because I still had, for certain things, my address is my parents' house, where I currently live. And I was like, if I had public library system, would it be even possible to have two cards? And so it's kind of this is a moving in with my parents in 2019 specific, because had I been living in California, I couldn't have, like, as my listed residence, then I wouldn't have been able to add the Sno-Isle Libraries library card because I wasn't a resident of King County. Now, I don't know if, like, you know, the stuff I had for, like, no, I don't think so, because I have to provide, I had to provide identification, and I had my driver's license in California. So no, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So it is moving in with my parents. The how it actually happened is the moving in with my parents in 2019 specific. Yeah, that's right. I had my state ID, and that had my residence that allowed for both cards. So yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that with the California, because I did change my state identification over to California when I lived there. So there we go. I was on both a KCLS and a Sno-Isle Libraries card, on having both, as of Tuesday, 17 June 2025.